through living in a small town, I don't really like cities. So it's annoying that for me to pursue careers and things, I'm probably going to have to live in the city, but I'm just not used to it.
So I chose to go to Keele because it has better academic prospects than Redditch. Redditch is more of an industrial town, and I felt it was better for me and for where my future and where my direction.
To some people living in a small town which isn't exactly thriving with potential, it can seem like some sort of prison, making it unnerving to know what to do with yourself once it's your time to thrive out into the big wide world. But who are the people who are starting to create their own path, and who are using their own approach to reach their goals? But how are they doing it? With 7,028 18 to 24-year-olds living in Redditch, we will meet with 4 of these people to answer these questions. Firstly, I will be meeting up with Madison at Arrow Valley Lake, who has recently produced her own book, which came to her on a long experience within Thailand. So Mad, you went to Thailand last year.
I did.
Yeah. How was it for you?
It was hot and smelly, but really good.
How did it compare to Redditch?
Well, Redditch is small and nothing really changes, and so there's not really much here. Whereas Thailand, I could go there and just experience an entirely different culture, and there's a different religion there, and there's a lot of English things that I was comfortable. Yeah. But then it's also just seeing a whole different way of living.
Was it like the opportunity that you took there? Did you, because you wrote a book, did you go there knowing that you was going to write a book?
No.
My
friend was actually looking for work because she wanted to get like an internship or placement or something while there, and then she came across something that suited me more, so I kind of just messaged this photographer and said I'll do it, and he was like okay, and then kind of just happened. I had no intention of really doing anything other than studying there.
We also met up with Tom Bagley, who at 21 years old is about to complete his university course. Within Redditch, only 5.6% will have an education higher than a level 4. While there are 20.7% with a level 4 degree, there is a staggering 25.1% with no qualifications at all. Want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I studied at Redditch in high school, Arrow Valley, and then I decided that I wanted to move away from Redditch and move to Keele, which is outside of Stoke, to study English literature and creative writing as my degree. So yeah, that's my education.
Why did you choose to go down to Keele?
So I chose to go to Keele because it has better academic prospects than Redditch. Redditch is more of an industrial town, and I felt it was better for me and for where my future and where my direction. So I've decided to stay there, and I'm going to be continuing on there. So yeah, that's probably why. I could have gone into Birmingham if I wanted to, or other cities, but I thought Stoke and Keele are very similar to Redditch. That's why I chose there specifically.
Okay, did you find that here it was a bit more of like a trek, like you didn't want to stay stuck here?
Yeah, I wanted to move away, gain independence, gain, I don't know, my own sense of identity, things which you were obviously constricted whilst being at home, whilst living at home, and whilst being in the same environment. I was able to create something and create myself all over again, which is nice.
In comparison to Tom, we have Alison, who instead of pursuing an education outside of Redditch, she has pursued a college course at Inkborough Needle Design, where she is currently learning how to create theatre costumes. I took this experience to learn about what she does and to gain insight of the education within Redditch and how it is currently benefiting Alison.
The designer's work. Did you feel the pressure then, like, yes, this is it, this is what I gotta do? It was my first fashion show, but it was very, very different to working backstage on theatre.
Would you do it again?
I would, yeah. But I'd prefer to do theatre I think. Kind of found that. Do you find that you'd have to get out of Redditch to do that, maybe? Most likely. I mean, the centre that we're in right now is Inkborough Needle Design, and it is one of the only places in Britain that actually do courses in the more expanded elements of textiles, fashion, theatre costume. So a lot of people have to travel around the world, around England and the world to actually get here. So a lot of the students that have studied here then had to go on to London or Manchester and such. But there have actually been some people that have moved to Australia and New Zealand with work as well. Okay. So do you have to, like this course, does it keep going until? Keeps going until you pass, really. Yes. So I've been able to pass the City and Guilds, and I'm moving on to a new section now where it is actually expanding my skills as a backstage theatre worker. So I would need to be able to adjust if an accident happened on stage. I'd need to be able to quickly do adjustments. So say this stitching came undone, it would either be easier to pop it in a popper or stitch it back up, so then the outfit would be ready for the next performance. Yeah. This was my revamp dress. Yeah. So that's Cinderella's dress when she makes it herself. So it's made out of tissue paper, so that the stepsisters will actually rip it off her when it is getting destroyed, and then obviously the fairy godmother comes and sees her.
There are not many people I know who have decided to pursue an education within Redditch. Charlotte is someone who goes to Birmingham University. Most people who leave Redditch for their education are also doing it for the experience and to gain some independence. However, Charlotte isn't just part of the 8.3% of 18 to 24-year-olds living in Redditch. She is also someone who, at the age of 22, has moved out of her home and into her own property. Had any struggles this year with doing your degree or your job at all?
Yeah, the job, I try not to let the job take over, but you can't help it, because being privately renting a property, you automatically think money before anything else, because money allows you to live.
Yeah.
So you haven't got that back support of family and living at home and being able to not worry about rent, council tax, all of that, all the mundane things you don't want to think about, you have to think about. So whenever I'm offered overtime, I try and take it, just so you think, oh, okay, so next month's going to be easier for us, because I've already worked. But then obviously being at university, it takes over quite a lot. So I'm always finding that when I'm supposed to be at university, I'm at work, and when I'm at work, I'm trying to think about university.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find that balance, which is a struggle, but you think it just comes with experience and time. You just learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, I think you've been able to cope this year, so...
I think so, yeah. I think there's been a few times where it's been a bit ropey, where you think, I can't do both, but you just have to just get on with it, think about it, organise yourself, and then just continue.
Yeah, because you bought your own house as well, haven't you? So that's brought new dynamics into like how you're handling stress and what you have to do for yourself.
Well, what I noticed when I was younger, the stress I had when I was younger was not stress. That wasn't real stress. It was fairy tale stress. It was stupid stress. Now, when you're living independently, you think, my gosh, like, this is real stress. We've had a few times when obviously money's been very, very tight, or we've made mistakes that we've learnt from, and it's a matter of we could lose what we have here, and that is stress. Like, I've never experienced stress like that. But now I think in comparison, a lot of things that I thought were stress aren't. So it's turns and roundabouts. You know, sometimes you have stressful things that in the moment is the worst stress you've ever felt, but then you look back on it and you think, well, if I overcame that, I could overcome anything.
Yeah.
That's how I tend to try and look at it.
As well as learning about these people's experience, I also wanted to get their thoughts on living in Redditch. This was also a good reflection to who we are as a generation and how we handle life at such a young age. Do you ever feel like you need to get out of Redditch in order to do what you want to do?
Yeah, like, I don't think that I want to stay living here forever, because it's, you know, it's a nice place, but it is very small. And I think if I want to do more of like a career in the creative side of things, I'm probably going to have to branch out. And there's a lot of jobs in London, but I don't really want to go to London.
Yeah.
But at least having to move into like Birmingham or something just to get more opportunities.
Yeah. Is that where you'd like to go next then, is go down to Birmingham and...
Well, I'm not too sure because I'd like to go abroad.
Okay.
But I really want to go and live in like Canada or go back to Asia. But it's just trying to find work really with it because it's so difficult just to try and get things now. But luckily, because I'm more fortunate than some people with the fact that I've got my undergraduate degree and then I'm going to have my master's and I've got a couple of books,
yeah,
that it does give me more to talk about and so more opportunities to get out there. And so I don't really know where I'll end up. I tend to just see what's going to happen next.
We was at school because we were in the same year together.
Yes.
When it was that sort of transition to sixth form to like going out into the big wide world, did you felt more pushed into going to a university?
I think there is definitely a larger emphasis on universities now, especially within our school particularly. I don't think that's necessarily right. I believe that young people should be given the choice to go to university and not forced into another career path. If the students don't want to follow a subject which they're only half wanting to do, I believe that you should, in theory, do what you want to do. And if you want to go into the workplace and start working and start earning money, I think that's a great opportunity and a great thing to do. For me, I wanted to study. That's always been my future goal, and I'm fulfilling that goal. So that's something I've aimed to achieve.
Do you have any advice for anyone that's going through what we're going through now, whether they're from like the future or anything like that?
In terms of studying and work?
Yeah, work.
I would say prioritise, definitely. How much do you need to earn to be able to live either at home or independently, whichever? How much do you need to do that comfortably? Work those hours and try not to do too much more than that. Obviously when the summertime comes, you're free to do whatever you want to do, but stick to what you should be doing and then set time out for university, college, school, whatever it is, and then don't let each other encroach on that time. That would be my biggest, because then you've got time to work and you've got time to do your work at school. Yeah.
As bleak as Redditch can be, as well as loads of other small towns across the UK, with meeting with these people who have chosen their own path to success, it shows that with the right motivation it is possible to achieve your goal, even when coming from an area that appears to be lacking in opportunity. Hopefully, those who come from a similar background have that hope to aim as high as they can, just like these 4 people have and will continue to do so.